setting it up. It's setting it up. Now we're being redirected. And I think we are live. So this is Helen with My Southern Psychics, and we're live here with Harper, and she's one of our readers on our lines, our psychics on our lines, and one of her specialties is tarot cards, and she even has her own deck, which she'll be showing to us. So, Harper, take it away.
Well, welcome everybody to My Southern Psychics, and we are launching here today. So if you are with us live, please go ahead and post a question, and I'd be more than happy to answer. I will utilize some tarot cards today in which to answer a question. We just need your name and date of birth. So go ahead and place that in the chat, and we'll take it from there.
So actually, this is, this is Helen. So I have a quick question. So what is the correct pronunciation of tarot, right? Some people say tarot cards and tarot. Is it just preference, like tomato, tomato, or is there the right way to say it?
That is a great question, Helen. I've been told, I don't even know the complete answer to that, but I've been told it's tarot. So I think that depending on culture and where you come from, or maybe what part of the world you come from, it could vary. So I think it's tarot.
Cool. So, okay, I have someone who is looking to have a read. So if you want to pick a card. So her name is Jennifer, and her birthday is 12/18, so December 18th. And her her question is whether she's going to have a new car in her future anytime soon.
Okay, so Jennifer, I'm going to go ahead and pick a card for you. So as we're looking, I'm just going to pick something. And what came up for you, need those lenses, is the Hanged Man. So here we go, bring it right up there, if you see that. So what I'm getting with this is there's a lot of, when I combine Kabbalah, I'm combining tarot and intuitive. What I'm getting with this is your answer to your vehicle is the rainbow. And I know that kind of sounds funny, but what that means is that the foundation is there for you to have whatever you seek. So I think that that's a really positive thing for you. I think one of the things that's happening with your particular choice of vehicle is that you have to decide what the long-term is for that vehicle. Don't just go on the short term, because this card is basically telling you that you could pick something really, really fast, but take a little bit of time so that you're weighing your options, maybe the different elements of the vehicle. Make sure that's exactly what you want for the long term, because when you purchase this vehicle, it is going to be something that you're going to have for quite a long time. The other part of this is trust. Okay, so part of the Kabbalah is saying, we call it sameach, and it means to trust. So trust your gut. Don't listen to the car dealers, but trust your true gut. And this will lead you to the right purchase. And yes, you will be actually purchasing a vehicle. It will shift for you. This will happen.
That's awesome. So one of the unique things that I know you do, and maybe we should talk a little bit about it, and I know you could talk a lot about it, is the link of tarot with Kabbalah.
Correct.
So if you want to give a little bit of background on that, because I mean, when you told me, I was blown away. I didn't even know. So I'm sure a lot of people don't.
Absolutely. So there's different parts of Kabbalah. So part of it is, first of all, tarot was actually, before tarot, there was Kabbalah, which is an old divination system. It's very, very ancient. It goes way, way back. Actually, all the way back to Dead Sea Scrolls. So it's way, way back. But in the short version of it, the numbers on the tarot cards, like for instance, we were just working with what we call path 14. So in Kabbalah, I work with paths like 1 through 27, and those equate to the actual tarot cards. So, so for instance, path 14, for instance, is the path of alchemy, which is about rainbows and puppy dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
Everyone loves rainbows and puppy dogs.
But it's about building a foundation, and it's the connection to the sun and the moon. And so that's just one example. But for instance, path 14 is a temperance card. Okay, so the temperance card is, a lot of people know it, would also be the Hebrew letter that goes with that is sameach. Okay, and that's what means trust or closeness. So there is there's a whole nother side, very similar. It's actually built on astrological. So it's built with astrology into the Kabbalah, into the cards. So they're all intertwined, okay? And a lot of you have seen what you call the Tree of Life, and that has something called the 10 Sefarot, which is a Hebrew word for the Tree of Life, and those are numbers. Just like astrology, it can be a little complicated because you have numbers, then you're adding things up, you have symbolism. So it's quite intense. But for purposes of working with you here on on the lines or in person or however we may work, I basically summed it up to the meanings of Kabbalah versus tarot versus astrology. So you have a number, you have a tarot card, and then you have the Kabbalah meaning. So I hope that explains it. It's a little complicated.
Cool. So we have another question that came in. So his name is Tarek, Tarek. His birthday is October 4th. Okay. And his question is, how will my business do this year?
Great one. Well, I'm going to put this up, and we are going to pick a card for you. So let's just kind of give it a little energy. Okay. All right. So this is your card, which is about creativity. So this is really good for you. I think it's Tarek. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Okay, so Tarek, as I'm combining this with intuitive as well, one of the things that I keep getting is that this year is going to be really great for you, but one of the things you have to concentrate on is a path of balance, because it feels as though what you're bringing to the table this year are new relationships, so new business type of relationships. There's new contracts, new compromises, and new negotiations for you. So pay extra attention to who you're partnering with. Very, very important. Okay. Your path is all going to be based on your decisions. So judge wisely. Okay. As you judge wisely, you'll have that balance. You're going to avoid a lot of major swings and extremes. Something that you've had in the past is you've gone too much one way, too much the other way, and not enough balance. And that's why this particular card has come up tonight for you. Okay. So it's really important that you also provide some creativity in your business. Very, very important. Stop putting just the left brain into your business and add more of your right brain. Very important. Sometimes you're kind of blindfolded to what needs to happen because you're avoiding the right brain stuff. Okay. So don't let your eyes basically deceive. Okay, very important. Your Hebrew letter today is Lamed, which means both to teach and to learn. So in Hebrew, there's no distinction between learning and teaching. A true teacher always learns what he teaches and a true student teaches while he learns. So with that being said, in order to build functional relationships in your business, you're going to have to kind of stand in the middle, have that balance, and maintain that a really positive equilibrium, okay, for both client and you. So yes, your business looks great.
Awesome. Okay, wow, they're just like rolling in now. So we have Misty, who's born on July 6th, and she has a lot of trials and inner struggles, and she's wondering what her near future looks like. So it's a little bit more vague, but let's see what you get.
Okay, so she wants to know what her future
near future looks like. So coming up, I guess, in the very short term.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so Misty, I'm going to go ahead and pick a card for you. Okay, and the card of truth comes up. The way you feel connects you to the truth of who you are. Very interesting that that came up. It's a path of number 7 for you. Okay, interesting that you mentioned something about your past, because in Kabbalah, what's coming up here is with it being path 7, this is the way of the child. So I would take this back to inner child. You know, you may want to come to me later because I got those inner child cards back there. So anyways, the inner child is really, really a huge part of what some of your past has been and where you're going in the future, some of which you have not addressed. And this year, in the next 6 months, so to speak, it's going to demand a great deal of attention for you. Sometimes things are really difficult, but you have to know that as you feel more positive and loving and release some of the childhood issues, there's a lot of positivity for you in the future. Meditation is one of the huge pieces that Kabbalah is sending to me right now. So it's really important that you find your own home within your own soul and your heart and not look for it outside. There's also a chariot that is connected to this particular card. And what that means is you have to reach out to a higher power. Okay, Kabbalah calls this Merkava, which means that it's code for meditation. So what that means is you have to keep moving. You cannot stop. You have to keep traveling. You have to keep going. You're undertaking this journey for a purpose. And that part of that purpose is allowing your emotional reservoir to release to the universe. And as you release that to the universe, things won't feel so challenging. Things will be more positive for you. You're going to have some new relationships. You'll be able to reduce some of the thick emotional walls that are holding you very sensitive right now. You're also going to create some new boundaries, which are going to bring some protection for you. You won't always feel unsafe. So I just want you to know that people aren't always out to invade. People do want to love. And so it's really important that you step into that and know that the world and the universe is there for you and it's open to whatever it is you want.
Awesome. Okay, they're like just firing in now. So the next one is Tara, and her birthday is 8/8. And she's wondering if she's going to be more financially stable in the near future.
Okay. So we're going to. Okay, so Tara, I am going to pull a card for you, and you get the star. Yay! So the star, Tara, is all about, it's also the way of creativity, but it's also about you making a deeper connection to both the right and the left side of what we call the Kabbalah tree. So in other words, you got creativity, you got romance, maybe even marriage. You have a lot of masculine and feminine energies that are working all around you all the time. They all come back to the level of the heart, okay? You have the strength, you got the power, and you have the authority in which to guide your connections, your future. And you must not forget that. You are, as the star says, the center of attention, okay? Happiness, romance, children, playfulness, all of that is coming to you here in the future. But one of the big pieces is your strength, okay? But in order to maintain that strength or to capture that strength, you have to let go of the ego. And this is a huge part of what Kabbalah is telling you, is that ego can be a negative for you sometimes if you're not careful with it. So don't allow the ego to take over. In other words, don't allow arrogance or self-centeredness to take over. Be the power of the light, which you already are, but just be careful not to get coiled and, you know, and lose sight of that.
Awesome. I think that's awesome advice. Okay, the next person is Danielle. Her birthday is 12/20, and I think she's in a fork in the road. She's asking what path should she take?
Okay, Danielle. December 20th?
Yes.
Okay, so Danielle, we are going to, okay. Definitely the path of the rainbow. So the magician is appearing, which means that you've got something creative as far as which path you should go. Of course, that's something we got to dive deeper in later, but right now it's about building a path of creativity and building your foundation. It's about letting go of some or overcoming some of the obstacles that you've been in. I definitely feel as though that your creativity is the huge piece here. So if you are looking at something more left-brained or more creative, you definitely want to follow the path of the creative one. You have to trust, same kind of thing. Kabbalah says that Sameach is about you trusting, and make sure that you are certain. Don't be afraid of failure or disaster or any of that kind of stuff. Just go forward with what your heart is telling you and trust the intuition. As you trust the intuition, you will not lose. You can't lose. That's part of your path, is you have to allow things to shift and to change. You will synchronize with the right path, but make sure it's creative.
Awesome. So I just want to take a moment and let everyone know, that people who have just joined us, that we are My Southern Psychics, and we're actually launching today. And we have a 50% off for your reading special. And Harper is one of our psychics, and she's just doing the Facebook Live just to celebrate today, because everyone in this company is celebrating today for our launch. So please sign up, go to our website. It's mysoutherpsychics.com, and you can sign up for an account there and get a reading. You know, might as well take advantage of the 50% off. So the next person that I have is Zoe, and her birthday is February 28th. She actually had two questions, so we'll let you pick which one you want to answer. Okay. With the tarot. One is, she loves her current diet plan and she's wondering if she'll reach her goal. And the other question is about finances. So which one seems to resonate a little bit more?
Let's go with the diet.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So she wants to know if she's going to reach her goal. Okay. So the Hierophant is the one that has come up for you today. And so interesting that this has come up for you, because one of the things that it's telling you, especially in reference to weight or diet, is that you have to respect yourself. Interesting, because basically what it's saying is that you're on a road that is spiritual and earthly. And so as you're walking this earthly road, don't focus so much on like the weight, losing it, losing it, losing it. Stop focusing on that. That's the material form of the earth. Okay. You got to focus more on the spiritual, which means digging into yourself a little bit more. Do some creative visualization, maybe some meditation. You are very psychic yourself. I just want you to know that you have a lot of psychic energies yourself. And so you know how to go to higher dimensions or how to make connections that are much deeper. And so that's part of your mystical path. So be open to that. Be open to connecting to maybe your dreams or the meditation and to see some of the dark spots that need to be healed. Because I truly don't believe for you, it's just about weight. It's not just about you losing it or eating the wrong foods or eating too much ice cream. I don't think that that's the issue here. Okay. I think a lot of it has to do with some of what I call feminine powers inside of you. And that you have to open that doorway. It's almost like there's mysteries inside of our bodies, and you have to open that up so it unveils to you what needs to happen. Okay, you're not taking a wrong turn. I just want you to know that you are going to be going straight forward. You're going to see where your limits and your boundaries are, and you are going to stop losing yourself in any kind of addictive behavior. It is going to be very positive, and you're going to be able to connect spiritually and on this earthly planet on that path. So stop harping on it and just fulfill it. You know what to do.
Cool. Okay, so I just want to interject real quick again, because we're getting a lot of, not so much questions, but we need a question with your first name and your date of birth. So Sally has sent one in, and her date of birth is January 30th. And so she's asking if her husband will move back home soon.
That's a big one, my dear. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick a card. Okay, let's go ahead and pick a card. Okay, so you got the Emperor. So there is a lot of authority in your life. And in reference to him coming back home, I think the righteous path is going to happen. Okay, so, you know, there's a foundation that the two of you have built. And it's a lot more complicated than just your question, is what I'm getting. Okay, there's definitely a lot of hope. There's definitely a positive future for the two of you. I find that you have a lot of electromagnetic energy, which is going to help bring him back. Okay, which is, and I'm not here to give you false illusions or false hopes with anything, but I think that there is something that the two of you have that need to be rehooked together. And once you figure out what that is, and you both kind of meditate on that, I feel like the two of you are going to come to some realizations and find your enlightenment in which to bring the two of you together in a different way, a new path.
Great. Great advice. Okay, so I have one from Katima. It's Katima. Her birthday is October 15th. And I'm not exactly sure what she's asking, but she, I guess, had applied for some classes or is trying to teach some classes. And she was wondering if she's going to get the classes that she desired, like the ones that she really wanted to teach or be a part of.
Okay. So Katima, the card that I picked for you today is the Empress. Okay, so this is the way of justice for you. So what it means is that, yes, as far as an absolute positive yes on this, you will get the classes that you are seeking. Just make sure you're very clear, it's written down, make sure all the dots are, you know, crossed off, exactly what you are, so to speak, demanding. Make sure it's clear. As long as everything is clear, there's no question that you will have what it is you are seeking. Okay, but don't be indecisive. Be clear, and this will happen for you.
That's great. So let me just, we got a couple more questions. I'm just trying to compile them. Let me see. Hold on a second. Just give me a moment. Chat about, oh, I have a question for you though. So it's off a different topic, not a question from, you know, someone, but the question is, how do you read timelines with tarot?
Interesting. So when it comes to timelines, I mean, when I'm reading tarot, I have to look at the whole picture. So generally, I utilize a 3-card spread when I am on the lines working. So what I'll do is then I'll be able to look at not only timelines of tarot, but I also look at Kabbalah. So that's an, you know, that's a connection of Kabbalah as well. So I'm seeing astrologically where the time is. I also utilize my clairaudient, clairvoyance, and my other intuitive skills. So I'm really combining it. You know, as a reader, you have to combine all the elements together. It can't just be one or the other. So it's really a combination, really a combination.
Cool. Okay. So the next question is from Samantha, and her birthday is 8/26. And she is asking if she's making the correct decisions concerning her love life.
Aha. Okay. So we'll go ahead and pick you a card. So the card that came up, if I can read it, it's a soul message. And so what that soul message is saying is you've got a little bit of purification to do in a relationship in order for the relationship to be full force for you. You have so much beauty around you. You've got so much to give, to serve, and to purify when it comes to other people. You're a very big, radiant soul of light, okay? And you're cherishing what is happening right now. And what I'm getting is you're being called to the center. You're being called to a particular place in what I call the heart of compassion. And it's requiring you to kind of really look at the small details and kind of get things in order and tidy things up and make sure what you're yearning, make sure that physical and emotional yearning that you're having is exactly what you want, where your purpose is, where you think that you are serving. This is not a time for you to be unemotional. You've got to really pay attention to the details. I think things will work out in a very positive way. And I think you also have to kind of release a little bit of perfectionism when it comes to relationships. As you do that, I feel like flowers blossom all around you.
Talking on mute, so I guess that doesn't really work. I just wanted to remind everyone that, once again, we are launching today My Southern Psychics. If you go to mysouthernspsychics.com, you can sign up and get 50% off your first reading. And that's the whole reading, not the first 3 minutes like some other places do it. So please just sign up and get a reading. You're going to stay on afterwards, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to go on live after this.
Live today.
one thing I'd like to mention is we can't really give advice, right, on financial situations and in
Correct.
details and health matters and stuff like that. Um, as health, financial, and legal advice, right? Because that's not our thing. We
Right.
don't want to get into trouble or anything like that. So it's not a good thing that we
Right.
just stay away from those topics.
We're not doctors and lawyers, so we can't prescribe and we can't dictate what is important for somebody. Yeah.
Cool. So Henny has a question. Her birthday is June 27th. And the question is, will Isaiah communicate with me again? And I think it's like love related.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and pick a card. Ha! The lovers came up. Isn't that lovely?
That's so
So,
cool.
yeah, so this is your path. So as far as I think one of the things that I'm getting with this is it's really symbolic of you like really paying attention to what's in the emotional reservoir of this relationship or what has been in the emotional reservoir in the past. Okay. And to correct some of the things from the past and release some of the emotional walls that have been there, and allow it to work itself out authentically. Okay. I do feel as though there is a very positive role that he is going to play in your future. So I do sense there is, if you're patient, you're just kind of disciplined and give it some time, I feel as though that there is an opportunity for this love to be renourished and for there to be something very special and long-term between the two of you.
Great. We have Christina, and her birthday is January 5th. And will I can't even talk today. Will my finances be better? I'm assuming in the near future or in the coming year. So,
Okay. So of course we have to be careful with finances.
right. Just
So
saying.
here we are. We're picking a card. Okay. I'm going to pick a different card. That card shouldn't have been in my deck. Sorry. Okay. So strength comes up. So as far as that goes, what this is telling me is that that you have to seek more balance, not have so many restrictions on things. You have the sincerity, you have the strength to get through this. But if you look at things a little differently, like change the eyes, the lenses, right? Change the glasses, the lenses that you seek out of. And you may find that the connection to finances really shifts for you, that things become not so overwhelming and things become easier for you. Dive a little bit deeper into your subconscious. As you do that, you'll be pulled upwards, not downwards. And, money or finances, they're really related to a subconscious level, which oftentimes goes back to an inner child. So be really open to connecting spiritually, to understand practical ways of what you need to do in which to increase and maintain, your financial background. Okay. You have a good eye on this. Kabbalah, the word is ayin, which means eye. So what that means is there's always more than what meets the eye. The inner eye can see beyond the physical form. So you just have to pay closer attention and gather the information that you need. Don't be afraid of it, because sometimes I get you're a little fearful of touching or diving into it or embracing what needs to happen. So you kind of shove it under the rug a little bit. So don't do that. Reach upward, not downward.
Cool. They're just like firing in now, just letting you know, which is awesome.
We can go.
So February 9th, her name is Nina, and her question is, will I have another baby? So that's kind of like,
Ooh, I don't really
it's hard
touch
to say.
on that.
Okay, that's fine. That's
I'm
cool
just
that you say
really
it.
honest with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about Kistin, September 10th?
Okay.
And her question is, do you see me getting published soon?
Published. Okay. Great. So we're going to pick a card. Ah, Mr. Devil came out. But this is a good thing. This is a good thing. What it means is that you are, first of all, there's a lot of light around you, and you are actually meant in Kabbalah terms to serve and to help to purify other people. And so there's definitely an expansion coming to you. And when I see that, that really means that you've held back for a long time. You've like hermited. You've held back. You haven't been giving out to the world what it is you need. And you've just done a full cleansing. But now, like, you're opening everything up. Like, you're ready to be published. You are ready to let the world know you've done enough functional things to get there that it's now time for you just to open up that door. So there's no question that you've got the building blocks to do it, and that as you're holding the light, stop holding the light, my dear, for everyone else. It's now time for you to hold the light for you.
Awesome. We have Inga, March 24th. Will Z reach out to me again, and what's blocking the connection?
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and pick a card. Okay. And your card is Temperance. There is no question that he will come, he will seek back out to you. He is kind of crystallizing his thoughts right now. And as he's crystallizing those thoughts, he's got to transform some of his own realities first. Okay. And then what will happen is he will blend that with you. It's like he has to regain his foot first. Okay. I don't feel as though that the path of completion has happened between the two of you yet. So that is telling me there is an opportunity for the two of you to karmically, in a positive way, come back together. There is a blossoming that will happen between the two of you. I think that he is getting more enlightened, and he is making peace with some of his past. And I think you are too. And I think through that, you guys are lifting the limitations that have stopped both of you from having a healthy relationship. And I think that that shifts for you. In Kabbalah, we call it Tav, T-A-V. And what that means is that there will be a sign or some kind of tone that is going to come forward to you to alert you that it is now time for you guys to come back together. So look out for that.
Cool. Next one, like I said, is coming right after one another. Jerry, Jeri, August 18th. Will I find love this year?
Ah, good question. So, Jerry, we have got, I love this card. This is called Ruffles of Life. So what that means is that there is been a lot of ups and downs in your life, but you have come to kind of a central or base connection over the last 3 months that has said that I want romance, that I want energies to shift and change, especially when it comes to matters of the heart and the soul. You're very generous. There's something about you that's very loyal and faithful. And that in itself is sending you on the journey to travel to find the happiness and romance. So there's no question that you are on that path in which to get there. Okay. Just remember, though, the big piece here is you have to also be the one that steps up and out in which to make that connection. Don't just rely upon somebody coming to seek you out, but you be the one that seeks somebody else out, and you will see success.
Wow, that was like a really cool card. um, so once again, for the people who have just joined us, we are My Southern Psychics, and Harper here is one of our psychics who will be on live after this Facebook Live. We are launching today, so come join our celebration. Come sign up on our website at mysouthernspsychics.com. And for your first read, we're giving you 50% off for the entire read. So take advantage of that. You know, even connect with Harper or find one of our other psychics who will be available. The next person is Megan, and her birthday is December 9th. And her question is, will she have any travel coming up this anytime soon?
Any travel? Okay, so we are going to pick a card, and you picked the world. Well,
wow.
Yes. Definitely. So there's probably more than one travel engagement this year. If I were to give you an intuitive estimate here, I would say you're probably traveling a minimum of 3 to 4 times this year. So on some bigger trips, okay? There's also some new opportunities and new beginnings for you within this card. So it's about you finding success as you travel. I'm not sure what that means, but I think you'll know it when you get it. And what I'm seeing is that there's a lot of luck. There's a lot of optimism that's coming to you. Go with the flow this year when it comes to that. If there's a potential trip that is to come to you, trust within your soul that is important and you need to go for some reason, and you may not always know why, but you need to go. And as you do that, you'll see why, because you will know that there was some critical spiritual growth that needed to happen. So I would say, yeah, you're going 3 to 4 times this year.
That's awesome. It's funny how things work, you know, the universe and energy and all that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Katrina actually is November 10th, and she just said, just draw a card and see what message comes from it. And so,
I love that.
Pretty open.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Okay, Katrina. Okay, the Hermit came up. So what this is telling me is that you are working a little bit this year on transformation. So there's this beautiful beauty within your soul and your heart. And part of that is you putting some things down to rest this year, about you like clearing out the old and planting new seeds. Okay, so that's really, really important. So it's like you're having this rebirth, this regeneration of when it comes to intimacy is what I keep getting. Really pay close attention to that. There's a relationship that needs some special attention towards it. Okay. You are going to be going through a process this year of healing, okay? And that healing is going to be very transformative for you, okay? Part of that, like I said, is that rebirthing inside. Don't fear the change. Don't fear intimacy, because this is something that you've really needed. And I feel like sometimes you can almost sabotage that in your life, and you got to be really, really careful about that you don't do that. Okay. So definitely intimacy and some very positive emotional energy that is to come to you, which is going to live up to your potential this year. So just take life in perfect balance.
Cool. So I have one from Theresa. August 26th. And she's asking if she'll get a new house in the next couple of years. If she'll move, or get a new house.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so Theresa, we are going to pull a card for you. And here we are, Theresa, you got the Fool. So there is definitely a strong probability here that as you're kind of purifying through your life this year, that you are going to be flourishing. Like there is definitely some radiance going on around you. And so you're finding your inner wealth. But you're also finding that on a material level as well as an earthly level, which will lead to you finding a new space. Absolutely, you will be finding a new house in the next couple of years. I feel as though you've got to be, one of the things I keep getting from Kabbalah is don't be overly emotional about it. Like, and I don't mean like emotional even. What I mean is fault finding. Don't be overly fault finding about like it's got to have 3 bedrooms or 2,500 square feet, or just kind of go in and trust and feel what is happening rather than it's got to have this, it's got to have this, it's got to have this. Okay, you don't have to go with all those really deep, dark details in order to find the right space. It's almost as though what Kabbalah keeps telling me is that they want you to go in and just kind of feel the energy, and that light will be provided for you. And it will be a place that will be very cleansing for you and very dedicated to you. It's almost as though this new place that I see will be your sanctuary.
That's cool. So she actually gave me some feedback, and she said she's a Virgo and she wants perfect, and so awesome read. Okay, so I'm not sure if I am pronouncing this person's name. I can't tell if it's male or female, but it's, I want to say it's Jamie. It's Jaime.
Okay.
And birthday is January 19th. And once again, it's just open to any message. So sense, feel, and pick a card.
Okay, sounds great. Okay, so Jamie, let's see what I got for you. Jamie, the High Priestess just came up. So definitely some heart connections for you this year, okay? Definitely, there are some messages that you need to get this year that are going to be truth, okay? And you don't put restrictions on that. Don't hide from the truth, because I feel like in the past you've hidden from the truth, and the truth is not going to mislead you or deceive you in any way. So listen carefully to what your subconscious. In other words, if you dream, make sure you're journaling it. Make sure you pay attention. Okay. I feel like there is a little bit of, I don't want to say panic, but a little bit of fear going on right now. And part of that is you're having to dig a little bit deeper to the practical side of your life. And sometimes you don't like doing that. Sometimes you don't want to see. And part of that is your heart is trying to get you to open up more, especially when it comes to utilizing your talents. Okay. So your talents are so important. And you have to start using those gifts and those talents that you have had, that you have pushed aside for years. Okay. It's time. And just know that nothing's going to come and ruin that. Okay. There's this fear that I keep getting that says, like, if I do that, like somebody's going to come and take it away, or, somehow it's going to ruin. No. None of that. Okay, this is where maybe you need to do a little bit of meditative work and really connect with your higher power so that you are not putting down the things that really need to serve your heart and your soul.
Great. Next one is Jeffery, January 6th. And he's just wondering if his business is going to be successful this year.
January 6th?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, Jeffery, we gotcha. Okay, so Jeffery, I got the Chariot for you. So your business will be very successful this year. I feel as though you have a lot of self-belief. And with that being said, you have a lot of earthly talents. You had a little bit of turmoil this past year in business. And that kind of was a little tough for you is what I'm getting. And, but this year you're not going to have to worry because I feel like you've been really patient and you've been very persistent. And there's an element of faith that's coming into, you seeking, bigger success as far as clients and maybe even monetary gain, things like that. But I feel like you're very, very sincere. Your message is true. And you're using your talents and your gifts to serve other people. And that is a really positive thing for you. So don't be afraid. It's going to be a great year for you. And I think you just have to continue being very practical about things and allowing more of your gifts and your talents to come out.
Okay, we just have a few more. Sally, I'm sorry I missed you. So Sally is January 30th, and she's wondering if her husband will move back soon.
Okay. Okay, so Sally. Okay, so Sally, we're going to go ahead and pick a card. Your card is Wheel of Fortune. So there's definitely some kind of destiny that is to be said between you and husband. There is definitely a foundation that the two of you have built. Sometimes I feel like things have been a little kooky, is the best way to put this, between the two of you. But I feel like there's a mission, a unique mission between the two of you. So there's a lot of hope for the future. And I feel like you guys are going to find a new way in which to find each other. So there's a strength. There's a lot of stars around you. There's a lot of suggestions that the two of you are connecting on subconscious levels when you're not together, which is a really positive thing. And that's a light, that's an energy force that's working for the expansiveness of both of you to bring you into something more positive into the future. So I think you guys are in a great start, and I think you're just going to have to be patient through this one and know that you guys will, you're meant to be. You have a mission together, and that's just going to take time to get there.
Awesome. We're coming to a close, and I think the last read that we're going to have is kind of an open read. So let's just end on that. Her name is Sharon, and her birthday is September 24th. So let's just sense it, pick a card, and let's see what happens.
Okay, so
the last one for the day.
Here we go, Sharon. Okay, so Sharon, you got the moon. Okay, so what this means, Sharon, is don't be, sometimes there's illusions around you, and don't be illusioned by sometimes what other people are telling you. There is this love and this commitment you have to the world. It's very, very beautiful. It's very harmonic is what I like to say, the beauty and the harmony. And this path for you is demanding a little bit more of you. It's demanding that you do not be influenced by other people's thinkings or judgments. Okay, very, very important. Okay, so don't listen to what other people tell you and then think you have to sway your choices and your decisions based upon that, because that is not true. That will lead you the wrong way. Okay, but at the same time, don't be indecisive, because when you are indecisive, you are ignoring the challenges or the issues. Okay, but the Hebrew letter Lamed comes up again here, and that's about teaching and learning. And I repeat this again, a true teacher always learns when he teaches, and a true student teaches while she learns. So there's something that you are exceptionally great at. And this thing that you're exceptionally great at is helping and teaching other people. So you have to allow this to flow this year and to not get caught up on other people's suggestions, okay? You're going to get out of some stuck behaviors this year, which is going to really lead to some positive elements in your life. Just resist playing around. In other words, just follow the path, be direct, maintain the balance, and you will see a lot of optimism, and that will come to you in the future.
Awesome. Harper, we survived our first Facebook Live. So once again, we are My Southern Psychics, and today is our launch day. We're actually launched now. We're 3 o'clock, so people should be, all the psychics should be on, and you're going to jump right on the lines. For our launch, if you sign up today, you can get 50% off your first call. So for the entire call, you'll have 50% off. Great, get to talk to Harper, get to talk to some of our other psychics. You know, Harper, someone asked about your deck again. Can you just show up the back part of your deck? The deck that she has created. And it's beautiful. And I just want to say a couple of things. So like us on our Facebook page, because we'll be posting more events over the weekend for additional reads with other psychics. Come create an account on our website, which is mysouthernspsychics.com, and check us out. Thank you so much, Harper, for your time. Now get to work, is what I'm going to say.
Sending everybody kisses and
yeah,
big hugs.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.